Oh man, my life has just been, woo! It's been a shit show. It's been a shit show. I'm gonna move you over here so that I'm actually looking at you and not to the side. There we go. That's better.
What's up, man? It's been a couple weeks. How you been?
Oh man, my life has just been, woo! It's been a shit show.
Crazy.
It's been a shit show.
No.
I mean, not in a bad.
That's
I mean,
okay.
yeah, in a bad way. In a bad. It's been crazy. For those who don't know, I shifted careers. So, and not only did I shift careers, I shifted to 2 other jobs. And man, I was just going, from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, and it was just like nonstop. And I was like burnt. Still kind of am. Still finishing up some things for this other job. And I don't know, just doing other things. And it's actually interesting because this is the first time in a long time where I'm not really, like, probably in 7 years, 8 years, where I have not been fully up to speed on the latest and greatest in film and TV news. Like, I'm just not. It's really weird. It's kind of nice, but it's also really weird. It's kind of nice because, I'm able to kind of just hop onto LRM and I'm like, what's going on? What's up with what's all the latest here going on?
Not a lot outside of Mandalorian stuff starting like Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
Well, it's also funny is like for me, Mandalorian is like I'll catch it when I feel like it. I just finished episode 3. I'm not caught up.
Okay.
By the way, episode 3 really good. I really liked episode 3. Mm-hmm. That was the one where
Did you not like episode 2 at all with the ice spiders and the
first 2 episodes were just kind of slow and boring, to be honest. Like they were fine, but they were just kind of like
there's an aspect that Cam and I have really locked onto that you can't, and that's the fatherhood and child, the dad and child, not father and child, because at this point Mando is straight up being a dad, and for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about,
you're talking about Yondu. Yondu. He may have been your father, but he ain't your daddy.
Yeah, exactly. The idea that fathers, anybody can donate DNA. People that actually be dads are awesome. So good stuff for that. Exactly. James Gunn's Yondu, another perfect example. So maybe that's why episode 2 didn't talk to you as much.
Probably. I mean, I think that definitely has an aspect. Like I could see, that you mentioned, I'm like, there's a definite fatherhood aspect that, it doesn't resonate with me. It's fine. It's good.
Exactly.
It's for me. It's just from a story standpoint, up to that point, it was just kind of like, as I mentioned before, it was fine. I'll watch it. It's entertaining, but then it was just kind of like there's not a lot of meat to each episode. I feel like each episode could be 30 minutes long, but then they like have those long stretches of nothing, which is once again fine.
There are some,
but
too many shots of him on a speeder bike are too long of a shot. Of him on the speeder bike, and you're like, I didn't go to film school, but I know you did, and I know people like you, Nick, even people like me that have made short films or studied film, even on our own, know we can be like, yeah, you were there about 3 seconds too long, buddy. That was filler. That was 3 fucking seconds of filler.
But
that
I mean,
too long.
Here's the argument against that, though. So the argument, like, I agree. That's definitely where my mind is at. That's where my attention span. That's where I've been trained. Like, basically, the self-indulgence has been beaten out of me. For the years of film school that I've had. But at the same time, this is very much an homage to, spaghetti westerns, and those things are not quick. Those are not fast-paced enterprises at all. So like, and the fact that there is no requirement for a specific runtime means that technically it's not filler, it's a creative choice. There's a reason for it. It's just whether or not it resonates with me personally.
Yeah.
It's just a taste.
It still feels like filler sometimes, though.
It definitely felt like it worst in the first episode of the season, where I felt like every 5 seconds we were getting like a long shot of them going from one place to another and then back and back and back. Like, I get what they're doing. Because they want to make sure it doesn't just feel like they go transport.
Yeah.
But anyways, my whole point is episode 3 of the season, where you get to see the other Mandalorians. Some great hints at world building. Really cool. Like, we kind of understood what was going on, but it was nice to see them start to sort of add extra layers to the story. And not just the story, to the world, that just felt like, oh, this is kind of alive and breathing, and other things are going on, and there are other factions within, the Mandalorian, I guess, creed or race or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really interesting to finally see that.
That is a definite cool aspect, as was in something that they may actually explore in the future is different groups of Force users, because Ahsoka herself, while everyone calls her a Jedi, she technically left the Order and is not part of the Jedi. She's a trained Jedi, by all means. She would be a Ronin, basically. Trained samurai, no master, doesn't belong to an order. And in the EU, they had whole groups like the Witches of Dathomir, or prime example. They didn't consider themselves Jedi or Sith. They were their own thing. So I hope we get to see some of that in the future. But yeah, Mando's been the big talk. I had good morning, by the way, 7 minutes in, and everybody, welcome back, Jammer, and to LRMornings, who's been away for the last couple weeks. You guys heard us say good morning to him, all that already. There was actually 2 things I had written down coming into this show.
Can I guess today. What they are?
Well, what's that?
We were talking Solid Snake, and we're talking AMC. Damn it.
No, actually not at all. The 2 things that caught my eye that I thought were really interesting. The AMC and Cinemark stock prices, like that, I expected. Like,
but what about their comments? Their comments are just so bitchy.
Well, we talked about AMC's comments last week.
Damn it!
And directly, yeah. I
was wondering about that.
I even mentioned how you would love to be a part of this conversation.
Yes.
Say what you want to say about AMC's comments, at least.
I mean, their comments were annoying.
For those of you that don't know, HBO Max is getting the basically Warner Brothers 2021 slate of 17 films to HBO Max day and day for theaters, and the streaming service for 31 days. Then it'll finish its theatrical run and do home video, and eventually someday in the future make it back to streaming, I assume. And AMC didn't like it, and Jammer, what's up? What did you think about AMC's comments?
They're really bitchy. They're just like, it's more puffery that I hate. It's the stuff where they're saying, they said it in a really obnoxious way, something along the lines of, oh, clearly they're leaving money on the table for, their stream. I'm like, no, they're fucking not. No one's going to theaters. Like, you saw what Tenet did. That's like, if that movie can't succeed, no movie can succeed in this current space. That's just the way it is. That's the reality we live in. And I guess that's the frustrating thing that I have, is that so many... I get self-preservation. I get that. I get the fact that they want to survive. But don't be throwing around that, that whole, oh, clearly they're leaving money on the table, because no, they're not. They're not going to they will make more money on HBO Max probably than they would in theaters right now in the current climate.
Right.
Like,
right.
you guys, that's my problem is that they're saying, oh yeah, theater still has value. 2019 was like the best, had the most money at the box office. I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely right. Also, no pandemic there. So that's completely...
No pandemic, 3 Marvel films, including Endgame, Captain Marvel, and a Spider-Man film. All 3 of which broke $1 billion. Disney was responsible for 6 movies last year, breaking $1 billion, right? I think it was 6. It was
Probably
6 or 7.
There's a lot,
including Spider-Man, and I say that because we know
they're involved.
Kevin Feige's
involved,
heavy-handed there. This is great because this AMC thing actually goes right into the second thing I wanted to talk about, and I hate to bring up academic pedigrees again with you and I, because I'm always one of those ones that academic pedigree itself does not mean
it don't mean
argument.
Shit.
Your argument does not hold weight, but it does help put some people in context, and it makes people approach certain things from different points of view. I've mentioned before how, like, I'll have one personal opinion and then I'll have like a business opinion on something, and they conflict with each other. Personally,
all the time.
I want A, and it's like, but business school Kyle, yeah, B is where it's at always. For those of you that don't know, the show is actually inspired by the Jason Ellis show. Basically, I wanted to bullshit with Jammer and some others about entertainment shit going on, not have to worry about structure and all that. But Ellis was he was a radio host on Sirius XM, former fucking skateboarder. I'm trying to get through all the background as quickly as possible. He was fired, for those of you that might like Jason Ellis or have heard of him before. Sirius XM fired him, and he's not the only head going to roll, according to him. He released a podcast. He was really respectful, like not angry at Sirius XM. He basically broke down. He was like, I don't think I can get in trouble for saying this. So this is third party from Jason Ellis's side only. He said Sirius XM is losing out on money. They're looking to consolidate. They're fighting things like Spotify. Even though there's a Sirius XM Spotify deal, people are choosing just Spotify. They're not keeping Sirius XM. But XM has Howard Stern. And Jason basically said Sirius XM's cutting things to keep Stern. And Stern doesn't even do like 5 days a week anymore. And this whole thing, this Sirius XM thing, reminds me of satellite and cable companies fighting streaming, and then theaters fighting streaming in this same way. And this churning to where we use our phones to access Spotify or Amazon or SoundCloud in our cars, and stream shit. We are literally everything is the same on radio as it was. Whoops. Google. Everything is the same from the days of AM, going to fighting FM, to fighting satellite radio, to fighting streaming, and watching it lose, and watching these because the old landline companies did the same thing against cell phones. What do you think about this type of these older companies? Here's, and for the first time, oh my god, I have not even said your name. What do you think about some of these companies? And the fact that a company we have long accused of being old-fashioned, out of touch, Warner Brothers fucking saw the light ahead of everyone else and fuck, dude. It's some crazy shit, isn't it? Like, see how it all is so similar in a path, and you can find all these different technologies that changed, and the people that fought it, you know, and then the people that moved with it, and then the people that thought ahead. It's insane.
I mean, there's a lot there to unpack. I think the basic idea, I think, is it makes sense. It's the idea that a lot of people want things to stay the same because it's easy and it's profitable. But then there's also a lot of people who want it to be the same because of tradition. I will say that compared to those other things, the theater thing has more grounding in tradition than almost any of the other industries. Like, I don't think anyone was saying, oh, AM radio is where it's at because that's how we listen to things.
Right.
Or, I think there's a little bit different. It's less about
I can see that
them clinging to a business model because it's profitable and more because it's part of, I mean, I'm sure that's part of it, but also because it's just how things were done and they don't want to lose that culture, which is which actually interesting to bring up another industry, sort of the book industry, which seemed like it was going in a full ebook direction 8 years ago. And now ebooks have leveled out. Hardcovers and print are going up, but more than anything that's going up, audiobooks are going up. So, I mean, maybe there's something to be said with, you know, tradition really actually resulting in more of an equilibrium than maybe you or I even want.
I hear your puppy.
Oh yeah, he's no, that's fine. More of an equilibrium of sorts, because it's just like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe as much as I say, hey, streaming is the future for now, but at the end of the day, theaters, I think they're not going to be what they used to be, but I do think they're going to be around because people are going to want. I think they're going to be just a part of the pie when all's said and done. Like, I don't think they're going away. I think, you know, if for example, if 2019, if all the theater cuts of like a movie's release was 100%, which it was, mostly, I guess for other films it was different. It's now going to be like 50%. The other 50% being something else. So I don't think they're going, because I think more than anything, it's more about the experience and the tradition than it is about pure dollars. And I think that is shown, at least in the book industry, that has some power, even if it's not completely all powerful.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that hybrid. Hybrid. I don't know what the word is. I took a hybrid approach to print. There were certain comics that, when I had the funds, I ordered monthly, you know, from the shop. And there were certain books. I was like, that book I want to feel in my hands turning the pages.
Yep.
Other times there were stories I was behind on in a comic that I wanted to get caught up. So I'd buy the digital trade, the trade paperback that combines, you know, 5 or 6 issues in a single book. I'd buy the digital trades for those. And so I've got magazines, comics, soft and hardcover books, fiction, nonfiction, and a digital library as well. Just like somebody the other day, I recently retired from the Army, as everyone knows, and I got I had my old recruiting Facebook page, because it's got over 1,000 followers. I converted it over to my personal one, and someone on there was like, who doesn't use Spotify? And I was like, me, because I've got a 32 gigabyte hard drive, or, you know, the thumbstick plugged into my car, and that's part of 20 years, over 20 years, 25 years. When did I start ripping CDs? Like 95? Yeah, like 25
I've lost.
years.
The thing is, I've lost. I had the same thing where I started collecting since in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then somewhere I'd say in 2009, like I just lost it. I was just like, I don't need my hard drive to be full of music. Like it's just whatever.
I don't know.
And then and then that's why I have Spotify now, is because like anything that I would have had is actually I don't have Spotify, to be fair. But like, that's why I would have Spotify.
The only other side of that is there are a lot of foreign bands and a lot of independent stuff that we have that we couldn't get on U.S. streaming services.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know
some of them.
Some of them, some of them are on Spotify. I think Spotify actually has a better. So I have Apple Music, and the only reason I have Apple Music is because it came free with my phone plan.
Right.
I switched over from Spotify to Apple Music because it was saving, $10 a month. So that's the only reason I have that. But Apple Music doesn't have as good obscure music. It's all like mostly mainstream stuff. Whereas Spotify, you were able to get like people throwing random shit on there for their playlists, random anime music or random, whatever foreign bands. But it's definitely not extensive, I would say.
Yeah, Amazon's not too bad. I've been able to find some of the newest stuff from some Japanese bands, some of the newest stuff from some Spanish bands, but not as much as I've got on my hard drive, because same with movies. I've collected movies at 3 deployments. Soldiers we all had portable hard drive. I got one of them over there somewhere, and it's like, oh, you got such and such, I've got such and such, here, take what you want off my hard drive, and then I'll take what I want off your hard drive. Like, so for 25 years and deployments, digital libraries grew, and my house is just this amalgam of analog and digital, except for one fucking thing. And I say this as I can't consider myself a full-blown audiophile, but I'll consider myself an audio fan, and that I am capable of hearing, compressed audio versus lossless audio. But the one analog thing I don't do is vinyl. I'm sorry. It
doesn't sound good. I mean, it's nice for the experience. It's fun. Yeah. It's nice for like it's the tradition thing again.
Exactly.
It's a
That's
reason.
all and nostalgia.
Yeah, and it's 100% nostalgia.
That warm noise you're hearing is not anything real. That is static noise, because it's an analog system that you can't get rid of that noise, but digitally you can, and then you can listen to hear music. Oh my god.
It's got that tape hiss noise.
It's like I used to have this argument with this other bassist that just insisted tube amps, nothing but tube amps, man. You gotta go analog, using vacuum tubes instead of a solid state amp, which is all electric. Mm-hmm. And again, they're like, there's that hum and that warmth and that tone, and I'm like, motherfucker, watch this. Turn some goddamn knobs, and I'm like, I can play the same fucking noise.
Yeah, it's like that thing that's taking it back to film. Robert Rodriguez used to say, like, people love that texture of film, and he was just all like, that's just because that was the technology, and we got used to it. And there's nothing. It's just technology. It's just old technology, but because it's old technology, it feels like it's organic when it isn't. It's not. It's a chemical process.
Right. And technology in film, that being another one of those things, and film and feel and tone, just like we were talking about, people being obsessed with that, the grains, the 24 frames per second, all of that. Depending on what I'm watching, I like motion filter, motion clarity on. Like, I like shit to be as clear as possible for games, sports, and certain action movies. Is there anything that you prefer the higher frame rates on?
I mean,
at
just
all,
video
or
games.
do you like to watch just video games?
Just video
like
games.
All your other entertainment at 24.
I mean,
30?
I'm not religious about it. I'm not one of those people who's just like turn off, what was it, the high refresh rates on your TV.
Right.
Honestly, for me, I'm just kind of like, oh, it's a new way. It looks slightly different. That's interesting.
Right.
That's it. Like literally, it's for me. It's just like it's like when not Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit came out, and they had the 40 frame rates thing. I thought it looked terrible because I wasn't used to it, but I recognized it was because I wasn't used to it. It had really, it objectively to me, wasn't terrible. But I'm all about just trying things and watching it in new ways, just because it's something different and it's a little creative. So I think by default, it's easy for me to go 24 frames or 30 frames if we're talking about, digital and TV and stuff. I'm all about that just because I'm used to it, but I'm open to other things as well.
Yeah,
I'm not religious. Nothing is sacred to me. You know me. Nothing is sacred.
I've said there's been so many episodes in the last two weeks where there's been something Nick has been on, and I've been like, fuck, I need to talk to Brian, or Brian's been on, and I'm like, fuck, I need to talk to Jammer, and so it's been great having you back on. Me personally, like I said, there's certain I think and I was going to say, because I come from a PC gaming world, so like I had a 120 hertz PC monitor before I ever had a 120 hertz native TV, right?
Yeah.
And my current monitor, my gaming one, is actually a 144 hertz monitor at that. So I've looked at high frame rates for a while in gaming, and I actually liked the way action movies and sports looked in high frame rates, only because with the action movies, you're looking for everything going on. Like Endgame at 24, the main fight, a little blurry for me, so I'm not gonna lie. I like watching Endgame with a little bit of the motion clarity turned on. And
the purists are to come after you.
Yeah,
that is a hot take.
Yeah, I do, because I think it just makes that final scene look so much crisper, and I can see more of what's going on. And last thing I have to get out of you, because I said there was two things I wanted to talk about.
Let's pick it up. Go.
And Zack Snyder's Justice League. What is his name? I wrote it down right here. Jason Killar, CEO of Killar. Yeah, CEO of Warner Media, says, and I quote, in a few months for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Hell yeah.
Personally, I think that's CEO talk for 6 to 8 months. What do you think?
You're probably right. Like, okay. I could see it either way. I could see it either being March, but that's pushing it, because I don't even know if they actually done reshoots. They did reshoots. I don't remember.
But they said remember there was a lot of arguments over how much there was rumors on the money he was getting. We heard what, 70 to 90, right? Originally, something like that.
That was a rumor.
That was a rumor as well. And then there were rumors of like 150 or some shit like that, some crazy number.
Oh, I don't remember that. Crazy.
But I do remember a story that the actual reshoots were only 5 minutes worth. Like Joker stuff, like everything. I don't know if I believe that story. I don't know if it was official. Let's see here. Zack Snyder reshoot.
I mean, you're not going to be able to find a solid answer by Googling in about 5 seconds, because there's going to be so many different.
No, Zack Snyder recently revealed that his Justice League reshoots are only adding an additional 5 minutes of footage to the
there you go
to the film, and that was Screen Rant back on November 14th, and they've got his quote right there. So yeah, that was an interesting thing to me. He, because then to me that just meant most of the money went to the effects and post in those
which makes sense.
Cans that he showed us so long ago. So yeah, some of the stuff it's definitely.
I could also see him adding stuff to the cut that wasn't in the can.
Yeah.
Just that was on the cutting room floor originally.
It was just weird that you were thinking, even at the 70 million mark, you're like, 5 minutes? Like,
yeah. I mean, it makes sense because you're adding all of the visual effects to everything. So it's like that's shit's expensive.
But if it were the 150 million and it were like 5 minutes, then you're like, really? What? Still, like, even with those.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been so much fun having you back on Jammer. I look forward to hopefully having you on more regularly again. Any last words on today's story or
Nope.
to the audience? You haven't cursed at the audience lately. Do you want to yell at them for anything?
Maybe on another day.
They've been really loving The Mandalorian, so you could yell at them about that or something.
I mean, I don't feel like yelling because if they like it, they like it. Okay. That's fine. It's just not as much for me. Like I said, I like the third episode. We'll see what I think about the next 3 or 4, however many there are so far.
Excited to hear what you have to say on that. Go ahead and tell me I'm down Oscar Isaac as Solid Snake.
Yes,
I know you're down.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I did not foresee that casting.
No, but it's a good one. It's a great one. I have been trying to cast him and everything. So
yeah.
Last bitch. Fuck you, Disney canceling DuckTales. I don't give a shit why, even though there's a Darkwing Duck series supposedly coming. And then
let's wrap it up, Kyle. I gotta get going.
The only thing about Metal Gear Solid is Russell has to show up in some form or another as some character. So there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, check out the website LRMonline.com every single day for all your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Check out the YouTube channel and subscribe to it. And subscribe to the podcast channel wherever you get podcasts from. Great content. Help us help you. Jammer, tell people about yourself.
Jam the Writer on Twitter.
There you go. And I'm Kyle, at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. Thank you so much for listening. Jammer, go to work. Bye.
Bye.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.